Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. We got a great show for you today. Today we're going to be talking about my top 3 mistakes that I've made in my investment career, my life career. That's what we're going to talk about today. And everybody, thanks so much for coming back, smashing that like button, subscribing, commenting down below. Really appreciate it, guys. And if you haven't, definitely subscribe and always smash that like button. I think my top likes are around 30 right now. Let's see if we can get one of these videos to 50 likes. All right, well, let's get right into it. Mark's number 1 mistake. So I've been reading this book. It's called the 80-20 principle. The Pareto principle. You guys have heard about it. You can look it up. But it's about running. It's the 80-20 principle. Is basically you have to do 80% of your runs slow and 20% of your runs with intensity. So how is this a mistake that I've made? Well, number 1 is sometimes I move too quickly. And other times I don't move quickly enough. And what basically this is to get fast and to get good at something, you need to slow down and learn it. That's basically what this is. So these guys who are out there running, so I'm going to equate this to running because this is where I'm going right now is I'm doing a 2,000 kilometer race across Tennessee and back from beginning of May till the end of August. So you're doing a whole bunch of miles, a whole bunch of kilometers, you're putting in a whole bunch of work. And these guys who are super fast at running these long distances is they've done 100 kilometer weeks, 120 kilometer weeks, 100 mile weeks to build up that base. So I see a lot, and that's what I see out there, people making these mistakes. What mistake I made is I didn't go build up my base. I went and I jumped in 2 feet and I didn't build up my base. Now, obviously over time I've built that base up and taken the action. It doesn't hurt you as long as you're not doing this in short term and you have a long-term mentality. So how do you apply this again? I'm not saying get stuck in analysis paralysis. I'm saying do your groundwork, and that's the slow, grind it out. You feel like you should be going faster. I talk to so many people about real estate, about investing, about life, and they always want to get there faster. And it's like, guys, you got to take that slow steps and you got to grind. And then Mandy and Larry, they can buy a property like that right now. But when they started, that's not what it was. Quinton, same thing. They developed in that slow time that all that miles they put in to be able to go and act quickly. If you're not where you want to be right now, that's fine. Make a plan. Most people underestimate what they can do in the long term and overestimate what they can do in the short term. All right, mistake number 2. And I talked about this in mistake number 1 a bit, is short-term mindset. I have never lost on an investment when I was investing for the long term. And time heals most wounds. For instance, if you were investing in the stock market and you bought Apple and we had that crash, it was down 25%. And today, a month later, it's back to where it was. Now, is that always going to happen in a month? No. Yet, at the end of the day, guys, if I just thought it was a good company and I'm perfectly willing to hold it in the long term, then I'm going to make money over the long run. The only time I've lost money in investments is thinking short term. This is truly, in this type of investment environment, what you need to be looking at. Jeremy on financial education, he's a long-term investor. And he will go through, he has his portfolio laid out and they're all long-term holds. Again, the only way I've lost money in real estate, stocks, all these types of things is investing for the short term. You don't need to be doing these short term, one day things. Honestly, that's how you lose money, and you can lose big money doing it. If you just invest for the long term in good quality product, real estate, businesses, stocks, you're going to win. And it's, we talked about in the last couple videos that I did where I was talking about time in the market, not time on the market, not timing the market, right? Whereas if you just put money in the market today, even in an index fund, in 10 years, it's going to be higher than it is today. And you just keep adding over time. So again, my second biggest mistake is that I was impatient. So be patient, long term. We're in this for the long haul, guys. My third biggest mistake I did was I didn't vet my partners properly. What that means is I didn't go through and I didn't get their goals and what their goal was and what they wanted, what they needed. And with that, either number one, they wanted to be more active than I wanted any of them ever to be. Because again, if I'm investing in real estate, my job is to be the active one. My job is to run it. Their job is to sit in the background and say, Mark, maybe have some suggestions or something like that. Yet they're not supposed to drive by the property every day and say, oh, we're missing this or we're missing that. If they want to do that, they should be their own investor. And if they need help, happy to help. Yet, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, guys, like there's got to be this flexibility. If there's not that flexibility, it doesn't work for me. Now, that might work for somebody else. I can introduce you to another investor that would be happy to help you and walk you through that. Yet for me, it didn't work. And a couple other ones were, I didn't vet that they had enough money to invest in this, and this was a smaller portion of their portfolio. So what that means is they were watching that basket like a hawk. And when they watch that, it goes back to number one, they were watching that basket like a hawk. They would drive by it every day. And the tenants would call me and say somebody's stalking them or lurking. You guys, you can't just drive by and do stuff in the yard, and it's not going to work. So, I mean, I get number one and number two go together there. And again, maybe they're just not nice people at the end of the day. Maybe our expectations aren't aligned. So I know in Keller Williams, like hiring, we have a process. So when you're going into a partnership, why not treat it like you're hiring somebody or you're hiring each other? Because again, you're getting married. Because you're going to be in it for the long haul together. So if you guys can't get along or if you can't work on something, then it's probably not going to work out. And at the end of the day, I'd rather say no in the beginning than have to dispose of an asset and, or buy them out or have them buy me out and things get messy. Way easier just to say right up front, this isn't probably going to work out. I can definitely refer you to somebody you can work with. Or at the end of the day, I can refer you to a great realtor that can help you out. All right, guys, those are my top 3 mistakes. Again, if you've liked it, if you liked the video, smash that like button, subscribe down below, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.